All right, everybody, welcome to a new type of episode. Um, actually, Mom, would you like to do the introduction of this? Because this was your idea. This is your brainchild. You want to walk us through what you got planned for tonight?
Okay, I'll give birth to the baby. Um, this is a great mystery. I would like to also say it's like a comedy that I stumbled upon while watching Netflix.
Hmm.
And I was thinking it was just gonna be some dumb show, but it was extremely funny. It kept me guessing and wondering through the whole limited season.
Hmm.
Um, and it was very entertaining. And the fact that we've gone to Dahlonega kind of piqued my interest when I found out that it was set mainly in Atlanta and Dahlonega. We're
Hmm. That
Atlanta
was cool.
natives. Yeah.
That's cool.
And you know, Dahlonega is where the mountains are. Remember one spring break when one of my friends took her son and I took you and we went up to that waterfall up and walked through those trails. You
Mm.
might not remember because it was like the year 2000, to be
Mm.
exact, the spring of the year 2000. I took you to Dahlonega. I've gone a lot of times, but I think
Mm.
you and I have only gone maybe once. But it's a lovely town. It's only it's only like 7,000 people that live there, and that's because it's a college or university nearby. Um,
Ah.
yeah, it's at the foothills of the mountains of North Georgia, so it's only like 70 miles from Atlanta, which is not far. And
Okay.
yeah, so it was a great show, and his and hers kind of reminded me of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. So I thought maybe it would be that type of dynamic, which they did give us a little bit of Mr. and Mrs. Smith in the
For
beginning.
sure. For sure. Yeah. This like we are
So yeah,
married, but we don't really know each other. Really,
yeah,
really kind of thing.
I was like, this is not a match, but somehow they pull together. So you want to go episode? You want to give our takes on it episode by episode, like real quick facts on it, just in case
Um.
somebody's viewing hasn't seen it, or if you have seen it. If
Oh,
you haven't seen it, we're gonna
we're gonna say
spoil it for you,
all right off top spoilers.
and
Because
a couple Easter eggs.
this is a spoiler review. The show's been out for 2 or 3 weeks now.
Yep, number
Um,
one on Netflix right
on
now. Number
Netflix.
one show. Hmm.
And yeah, let's just give just talk about what we liked and what we remember. Um, because the episodes it's kind of like one big movie, really. It's
Yes.
not like a new adventure every episode. It's just
Yeah.
one giant movie that's 3 hours
Broken
long,
up into
six
yes,
episodes.
into
Yeah.
episodes.
Well, I'll tell you right off top, what I found interesting was the relationship between the two main characters, the two people that were. Let me pull up the characters' names here.
Anna Andrews and Detective Jack Harper is the his
There
and
you go.
hers. Uh-huh.
Yes, their dynamic. At first, I thought maybe this is about like cheating. Maybe this is like the high school sweetheart and somebody cheated on somebody. And then you find out that it's way more serious of a reason for their split than that. You know what I mean? So they
Yeah.
kind of hit you with a left turn with that. At first, you're like, oh, they're just high school sweethearts who got married young, and then they grew apart when her career took off or something, and he stayed in town. And then you find out like, oh no, it was way worse than that.
You
You know
know.
what I mean? But I love
I
I love that little rivalry and how she
I
would
love it.
use she used the new guy to like kind of make him a little crazy and a little
Well,
jealous.
she became his mirror. It
Yeah,
was
yeah,
his
but and
mirror.
it was a double thing because she was also trying to get back at the lady who was taking her job because that's her
Yes.
husband as well. So it was like
And do
two
you
birds, one stone.
yeah, and do you I think of the first episode as like a labyrinth. It was like I'm thinking right off, oh, I know who did this. I'm thinking that in the
Mm,
first episode. I'm like, okay, Anna, how is she gonna hide the fact that she just murked this lady? Because her tooth and she's coming in dirty and it's raining, and then the foreshadowing of like Lexi on the ad on the bus as she's throwing away magazines, which we later find out has nothing to do with a murder or anything at all. Even the tooth,
yeah,
like that's the mystery. The
yeah,
mystery to me of the entire series is what happened to Anna's tooth and why, and this is the Easter egg, why was at first it was her left tooth. When she pulled up her gum, it was swelling on her left side. But when she went to the dentist and when her boss was saying she looked like she was about to stroke out, that was on her right side.
mm,
So that was a mystery, and I had to play it back. Of course, I watch shows over and over and over and over. And it's the psychology behind that too. I watched the psychologists explain why rewatchers rewatch shows so many times.
mm.
But yeah, the missing the tooth, the injured tooth, uh, in the first episode. Just when I go back, it still puzzles me because they never answer that. Perhaps if we get a season two, I mean, yeah, season two, they'll answer what happened to her too. But the comedy, what did you think when Detective Patel, which is uh Detective Jack Harper's sidekick, do you
Yeah.
remember when they went to the coroner's office and the coroner was like, yeah, whoever left the jizz is probably the killer, and he left a lot of it. And then they cut to the scene where Detective Harper is in his truck and they playing ODB. Oh, baby, I like it raw. I did not put two and two together right at that moment. And that's why you have to go back and rewatch the series, because when that Jack Harper was getting it on with the victim, the one murder they probably had, and I don't know,
Yeah.
they had like
Yeah.
50 years.
Yeah.
They playing the song, baby, I like it raw. And he whipping in his truck to go check out, try to go
Yeah.
figure out what's going on. But I thought that was a nice, funny, comedic relief to a murder investigation.
Yeah.
Uh,
His whole arc in this is hilarious because you're like the whole time you're like, okay, he killed her, and now he is trying to cover.
Cover it up.
We're watching like a episode of Dexter, but with a guy that's guilty,
But
and
who
so
looks
he's
like he don't think past the day. Like
yeah,
he does not
exactly.
look like a guy. He's all telling Patel, yeah, you get a hunch from anybody from Delonica, you don't want throw it away, throw it in the trash.
Yeah.
Or remember when he told the guys at the scene, uh, if you don't belong here, then kick rocks.
Yeah, that was good. That
Now,
was
can
good.
that dude plan a murder after he just jizzed all in the lady?
Yeah, I mean, we knew something was up because remember in the first scene, we
Uh,
see our we see our girl in a hoodie or whatever in the rain, and they're like,
hmm
maybe she did it. Maybe she set up. That's what they said.
Yes,
They tricked me
me
because
too.
they made it seem like, oh, she's getting him back for cheating, and then you're like, oh no, this is way bigger than that. But that's how they set
Yeah.
it up.
I
Yeah.
mean, the way she came in, you would not think she was as glamorous. news reporter for Atlanta at some point. She came
Mm,
in with swollen face, mud on her face, clothes, tennis
yeah,
shoes dirty to this nice place that you think she breaking in because no
yeah.
way she's dressed like that. She lives in somewhere like that. But she's very
Hmm.
familiar with it. So it's just really it's a labyrinth. It's like it's sending you one way through a maze
Exactly.
when really all the action is happening on the other side. And
Yep.
that's why I would retitle. I don't know what they titled the first episode of his and hers, but it should have the first episode should have been called Labyrinth. But then we would have known that we're gonna get confused. But yeah, that was very confusing. And the fact that she was so psychic when she went to her boss to try to reclaim her throne from Lexi, the the Caucasian lady who had taken over.
Yeah, the one that we usually
She,
see become the host of a morning show, you know what I mean? Blonde and
yeah, but
uh
like Anna said, this is Atlanta. Like this is Chocolate City not
only
2.0.
people who have been to Atlanta understood what that line was really what she was really saying with that line, yeah.
Yeah, we have diversity here.
Yeah. She
But
said it without
yeah,
saying it, yeah.
yeah, that's like, are you really gonna put a Caucasian in a Zimbabwe? Um,
Well, they did.
I guess you would.
They
Yeah, I
did.
believe they would. Be
Well,
like,
I'm
my
not saying they
ancestors
did
are
in the
from
show.
Zimbabwe.
She
Yeah,
didn't get her
yeah,
job back until the very
I
end of the
know.
series. So, yeah,
But
and
yeah,
the
what
funniest
did you
part,
mm,
comedy-wise,
to
the
you? Yeah, what
husband
do you think?
the husband who let his wife cheat on him, he was hilarious.
The cook.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was hilarious.
yeah, yeah. He
Um,
really made his debut in episode 2, and yeah, him describing his wife's quirks
yeah.
and her and why she did like he knew her from head to toe. He knew everything
Mhm.
about her.
Yep.
I mean, even the fact that he knew that she was with him for his money because he said what he say he kind of not hit or miss, but kind of missed most of the time.
Well,
So
that and
he never
he
hit.
he was giving us hints that she was not a nice person, which we find out later, right? We
Oh
find
no,
out that
we
she was
actually
kind of a bully later in the
yes.
later episodes, but he was dropping those hints, but it made him look guilty. It made him look like he was guilty by dropping those hints about who she was as a person. Because he was trying to kind of say,
Yeah.
like, I'm not really surprised, but he couldn't say that because that's really bad. But he was trying to, he was
I
basically
really
saying
don't
that.
care. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
he was
first he
basically
put
saying
it
that.
on thick. Remember he was
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know and then
yeah.
but what tickled me about that when they went to question him was when they were on their way out and they was like, well, we need your clothing, and remember he had them all laundered and folded, even the
Yeah,
socks, like
yeah. I mean,
like
that's
I'm
not weird
clean,
though.
dude.
Yeah, maybe that's
That's
not weird.
funny.
You wash your clothes on the weekend. What are you gonna do?
He had
But
his exact clothes waiting on them because he knew they were on their way
so,
to me.
allegedly,
Yeah,
but
allegedly. And but in episode 2, you also see, how when Anna started going through that box in her old room,
mm,
and we started to see that most of the girls are linked. Zoe, which is Detective Jack Harper's sister, was
oh yeah,
also friends with Rachel and Helen and Catherine,
hmm,
which is the overweight one that they picked on. But they weren't nice, even in the videos that Anna was watching. They were kind of like bullies, and
hmm.
um, you know, the moving around in episode 2 when they want that DNA sample from Jack and Detective Patel, she turned hers in, but Jack swabs his
Oh
niece.
yeah, that was a
And
low moment. If
And
if you
now
in
I was
case
so
you thought he
glad
was
they put
innocent,
that.
in case
Yes,
you thought he was innocent, you were really thinking he did the
really.
murder at that point. You're like, "Oh yeah, he definitely pulled this murder." But like you said,
Yes. He
you
acts so
you
nonchalant though.
yeah, I was gonna say you really got his character now, which is that he was too flustered by it to seem like a guy who he definitely didn't
Planned
plan
it
it.
out.
Yeah, he was too flustered by it. So there was like hints that he was innocent by how shocked he was acting and flustered he was acting. And his
And did
ex-wife looked guilty because she was just so calm and chill, and she was just like, "Oh,
like she
so
never knew Rachel.
yeah." And so and even his sister, it was weird. Like his sister was kind of like
Tell me who's the remember who's the stiff? Remember when it
yeah, like
came on WZ?
yeah,
What's the name of the radio station? WZGH,
I don't know.
WSK TV in Atlanta when they were showing the we have a dead body in Dahlonega. And I
Mhm.
love how Anna used her intuition to know that either she was gonna blow this up, but like,
Mhm.
yeah, this gonna be what put my career, but get me back in the spotlight. But yeah,
Yeah.
she took a very detached approach to the whole situation. She was like, I don't care about Rachel. I guess because
Yeah.
she discovered Rachel was boning her husband. Um,
No, we know why. We know
yeah,
why.
but
We find
also,
out later in later
but then,
episodes what
but that
happened
adds
there.
salt onto a wound. Not only did we find out she's disgusting, she was
Mhm.
a disgusting person since childhood, but
Yeah.
she also, was banging her husband, after, are we going to let the cat out the bag about, why Anna left
Let's wait
the,
a little bit.
okay,
Let's wait a little
okay,
till we get through all the stuff before that. There's a couple of twists
okay.
at the end, but yeah, I like
Oh,
the
yeah, but
character.
so I wanted to
Go ahead.
say um, that Jack faking that test show
Mhm.
that people, if you give them a chance, they will actually do that. Most people think, oh no, everybody's honest. But Jack did not want that DNA
Yeah,
being
I mean,
linked
yeah, it was
back to
it
him.
wasn't court ordered, right? It's a voluntary
Mm,
submission, so he could take the test home and not at the station. Now, it's
mhm.
funny because you know, if your employer requests to test you at work, you can say no, but it's like it counts against you, right? It's a strike
Mhm.
against you, and it's kind of it hints at your guilt. So I thought that was interesting that because if he's in a position of power, they didn't go, let's just do it now while you're here at the station.
They did. They asked him, the coroner asked him a couple times, you want to go on and do it now? Oh no, give it to me. I'll take it home. Now that's
Yeah.
when I started saying, because remember now, Anna's flashback, we saw that she actually saw in the second episode that he wasn't this poor grieving husband longing for his wife.
Hmm.
And that's why she didn't stop doing what she was doing in episode one and got louder because she wanted to get him back. That's their Mr. and Mrs. Smith moment.
Hmm. They had plenty. Yeah, they had plenty.
Oh, uh-huh. Um,
And I
but
like I like the mom. The mom, how she treated
oh
him when
yeah.
he came in. She's like, "Hey, Jack, how's it going?" So
You
let
want
you
some
know
coffee?
that was a hint too that I was like, "Oh, so maybe he wasn't a bad guy," because the mom would definitely have side eye
Oh,
if he
you
was the
know he's
bad guy. You know?
right. I'm excited. Remember when it first came on? In the first one, the second, third scene after Anna's was him with his niece, and I thought it was his child.
Hmm.
Remember, she came to wake him up, and he was
Yeah,
like, "Who's the biggest and the baddest?" And just the relationship he had with her was so sweet. And then
yeah.
I thought Zoe, his sister, was actually his wife because he was like, "Well,
I
who's
thought
gonna
that
take
too.
her to soccer practice?" Yeah,
Yeah,
like she was
yeah,
some drug addict, deadbeat mom who he just allowed to still live in the house, and they
yeah,
slept separately
yeah.
until you see later. that that's his niece and that it's a deadbeat mom still that just happens to be his sister.
Yeah, yeah.
And how Zoe, do you recall the part in episode 2 when Zoe pulled up on Anna
Mhm.
bumping hip hop music,
Yeah, and then
shooting a
put up the middle
bird?
finger. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Yeah. Yeah, that was
Zoe
funny.
Anna didn't pull up. The black lady didn't pull up playing hip hop.
Yeah.
The white lady pull up playing hip hop to
Yeah, that
shoot
was
a
funny.
bird. That was
That
so
was funny.
funny. It was so many funny parts in this show. Oh, now what about the cell phone? When remember in the beginning he said, "I want that cell phone." Now that part really,
Yeah.
if you go
Yeah.
back and watch it and you think
And
he's the killer,
I, I mean, there's so many reasons to think that he was a killer in the beginning. I mean, he broke into the coroner's office just to get the to unlock the phone.
with her
Um,
eyes, that was
yeah,
sick.
that was sick. Sick. Yeah, that was crazy. And then
But then the
his
video,
partner's investigating him at the same time, which
yeah.
yeah, that was funny.
And the more, and do you notice that the more Detective Patel gets, starts to put the pieces of the puzzle together because nobody is safe on her board in her little
Mhm.
war room. She
Yeah.
even got Jack Harper on there.
He's in the center. Yeah, he's in the center.
Yeah, yeah, she got him on there. But the part that he started to become more misogynist, the more questions she asked. He'll be like, "I'm the leader, I'm the boss," so he becomes more
He's
um
trying to just get her to stop.
shut up.
Yeah, that's yeah, exactly.
But the play, remember when he found the phone in
Mhm.
between the seat of his own truck?
Yeah, yeah.
Did you see the picture that was her screensaver
I don't
of the
remember that. What was it?
husband winking
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I do
like
remember
he's
that.
winking
Yeah,
at Jack?
yeah. So that
So,
shows she has some affection for her husband. We never got
but
to see that
but
dynamic, but she obviously
imagine,
has some kind of affection for him to be on the screensaver.
well, I saw it more as the universe getting tinkering with Jack because he's needing to break in this phone, and the husband just got through questioning him, and the husband just got through throwing subliminals in front of Patel, like, yeah,
Yeah,
whoever was inside her last night was the one that
yeah.
did it.
And she
And,
liked to hook, or he was like, she liked to hook up in trucks, made her
yeah,
feel like he was getting away with something. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
in the woods like a
yeah.
child
I
because
don't know
he
if you
knew
remember that.
everything that was happening.
I
Huh?
don't know if you remember that actor, but he was the sheriff in True Blood, the husband. I don't know if you
Where
remember
is
that.
True Blood? I have not seen True Blood since we watched it
It's an
back in the day.
HBO show, so it's probably on their little
Oh,
app. You know,
oh, well, no wonder we
most
never
likely.
saw it.
Yeah, it's not going to be on
And they
Netflix.
won't sell it to nobody, huh?
Not if they
Wow.
got their own app. Yeah, no.
Mm,
But yeah,
that's
the
sad.
husband was hilarious.
He was
And
too funny. He was on the screensaver winking in
yeah,
blue, so you can see him right.
yeah.
And
I mean,
Jack was like,
that's her husband. Yeah, I mean, hey, we gonna do? But
but it's like he was looking at him like, "I see you, Jack." Because everybody knew in town, including Helen, what do you call that of the school? Not the principal of Hogwarts of Delanaga. What was it? um,
yeah, it's like a
what do
girls'
they call them?
preparatory school.
Yeah,
Well,
what they
it's like
call the dean or whatever. What do they call them in those schools?
headmaster.
Yeah, yeah, she
Yeah,
was that.
headmaster, something like that. Yeah, her character I think was the least developed. The headmaster.
She got
She was
5 minutes of fame.
5 minutes of screen time, 5 minutes of pain, and then she was out. But yeah, so she got the least development. There's not much to say about the headmaster. So she was very mean spirited. We knew that much from her
Yeah.
interaction with the main character. But I will say that one interesting part was the cameraman. You when you start to think, oh, the cameraman is somehow the killer.
connected
You're
to
like,
it.
I don't know
Hmm.
how he's the killer, but somehow he might be the
He
killer
act
because
he's
he
he started acting psycho.
yeah, a little bit. You can read into it that way because they were like, oh, he has a history. He hit a woman 3 years ago. Jack finds
Hmm.
that out, and then he's cheating on his wife. He's mad that she has a better job than him and whatnot. So you're like, okay, there's a few hints, but still, how was he in Dahlonega and Atlanta at the same time, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of stuff didn't line up with that, but they did throw that out there for you to get distracted. Like, oh, maybe the cameraman is the killer. But I thought it was hilarious how he got used back and forth between the two ladies. Yeah, that was
Like
so
a
funny to me.
dildo.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, that was hilarious. He was just a tool for them
I
the
wish
whole
more
time.
men would realize that when they think that they playing two women, when really they getting played and toyed around with.
Yeah,
Um, and women too, when in a love triangle. Um,
yeah.
but
Eh,
what do you what did you think about um when you found out? Well, hold up. When I guess we're not that far yet.
yeah, let's.
Um,
I got one part I want to talk about before we get to the ending sequences.
okay, go ahead.
Um, the town
Mhm.
hall, that was insane because our girl set that up just to get the traction, the media traction. She tricked
Mhm.
everybody and she's like, "Oh, this would be good for the people. It'll make everybody feel safer." And she just completely turned the town against each other to get like the media hype and maybe get her job back. But she didn't know that that would bring the blonde Lizzie, what's her name? Lizzie or the blonde
Lexi.
Lexi. She didn't know that would bring Lexi back. Oh, not back, but to Dahlonega. I'm trying not to reveal the reveal before the reveal, but she didn't know that would
Okay.
bring Lexi to Dahlonega. That was an unforeseen consequence, but she knew that it would help her get her job back with all this like hoopla over a murder in a small town, and so she totally like turned the town against each other. You get to see how she feels about her hometown. She does not see
She
them
don't
as
like
good
it.
good people. She sees them
Mm-mm.
as
The
you know
racist people that they've been to her.
maybe.
So,
So that was great. And then her conversation with Zoe after the town hall, that was revealing because you're like, I didn't even realize Zoe was part of it into that conversation. She was like, "Oh, I know what you're capable of," and you're like, "Oh, Zoe is in this somehow." I
yeah.
thought Zoe
When
was like
you
off in a
just the
corner
sister of
somewhere.
Jack.
Yeah, yeah, but
Hmm.
she's involved in this. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to watch those tapes when she goes back. That's why you have to watch this series over and over because when she's watching those tapes of the
Mhm.
groups, like on her birthday, when that
Yeah.
incident happened,
Mhm.
Zoe was there. So, but you have to go back and watch that tape. What you thought was insignificant and really didn't
Mhm.
have much to do with anything had something to
Mhm.
do with, you notice, you could see from the last episode, it had something to do with everything. Everything meant something
Yeah.
in the
Well,
show because it
there's
came
also
together, except for the
ano-
two, the missing two.
there's also another factor with the banana. Um, Jack is always eating a banana. Now,
I
maybe
did
you could
not
tell.
notice that.
Yeah, maybe you could tell me why. But every time he got stressed out, every time he
He
would have
ate
a
a
stressful
banana.
moment, every time he would have to go hide some evidence or he get a bad phone call where it looks like he's going to be the one that's going to be revealed, he would be eating a banana. And I was like, why is the
Oh,
banana his comfort food? And then
oh,
is that
because
tied to
it
something?
contains bananas contain. I'm gonna tell you the chemical, and it calms
Potassium?
babies.
Not potassium.
Um,
Serotonin?
banana. Makes you sleep. It makes you sleepy. It's in turkey and it's in bananas, and it is called. Um, uh, Give me a minute. I come back to it.
Okay.
I
Well, we can
forgot a
just W-
Hey, what you call it told me about it. A
We,
neurologist told me
we
about it.
well, I don't know if this guy is eating it for the science.
Yeah, it
I
calms you.
think
It calms you down. I think he probably doesn't know. It's probably
he
subconscious.
definitely doesn't know the science behind the banana. This
Yeah,
character
because he don't look
doesn't
like he
know
even
that.
know how to spell science. Even
Yeah,
though
yeah.
he's not dumb, he's very crafty because he got that cell phone unlocked.
We could have figured that out. He's not
Tryptophan. It's called tryptophan.
okay. Okay, but
It's
anyways,
yeah,
there's something
and
with
it
that.
regulates your heart and it reduces stress. Tryptophan, and it helps you
Okay,
sleep at night.
interesting.
Bananas and turkey. Mhm.
Yeah. So we can head into the final sequences because that's pretty much
Oh,
everything that happened
okay.
up until that point. The
Yeah,
mom.
but
Oh yeah, we should
I
mention the mom. The mom
hold
has
on.
Alzheimer's at this point or dementia.
Yes.
That's about it.
Y-
Um,
Yes, and she seems very sweet, and that she really missed her daughter when her daughter disappeared.
mhm,
Before we get to the big reveal, I also wanted to mention in episode 3 was the beginning. I want to talk about that fake out plot twist when you said Anna came to Dahlonega. I mean that Anna made Lexi come to Dahlonega.
mhm.
Um, Remember when the boss called Anna and told her to get back to Atlanta? So, because Lexi was leaving
Well, she was
and
sick.
come to
She
Atlanta.
called in
Yeah,
sick.
sick.
Yeah.
And got her there. She got in full makeup. They're like,
Mhm.
yeah, you're back. And
Yeah.
yeah, this is it. You're back on
Mhm.
your throne. And then at the last minute, after all the excitement and the energy build, Lexi swoops up and is like, psych.
Yeah.
I'm back.
That was messed
Get
up.
your butt out my seat.
Yeah,
That
that was
was
brutal. That was
no, that was a
brutal.
humiliation ritual.
That was you can use the word humiliation for that scene. It wasn't a
Yeah, I
ritual.
felt
It was just
humiliated.
straight up humiliation. It was just straight up mean girl stuff. Um,
Yeah.
Also, we keep forgetting to mention too that this whole time they're showing us clips of a full figured high school girl getting bullied very harshly and brutally, and you're like, clearly now we know who the killer is. You're like, okay, it's not
Yep.
Jack. He's too goofy. It's not Zoe. She's too drugged up or whatever she is.
You could care less.
Anna is like, for some reason, even though she's acting like she's the killer, for some reason we know she's not the killer. Is that's too obvious, right?
Yeah, and
And then,
she's still grieving the loss of her child.
which is still a motive because we don't know how the child died yet, and not until the
Yeah.
last two episodes. So, and then we think it's the cameraman because he's like in shape enough to kill people, and
But and
he's
you know
just
what?
chill.
And, and you know what I thought about? As much as I was thinking he would hurt, that he wanted to hurt Anna, which I guess we'll talk about in a minute. But Anna make you want to hurt her. Remember when Jack said, "Don't tell nobody I told you who the murder, that the murder victim is." Oh yeah, I heard it is 46-year-old Rachel, so 32-year-old Rachel, whatever. It's like, good lord. Oh, another fact about Lumpkin County, Dahlonega, Georgia, as I'm looking
Mhm,
on their website, they started as a gold mine town. They
mhm,
incorporated once they found gold, and that's why whenever we go, you'll see a lot of attractions where you can find birthstones, like big gems,
mhm.
and
Okay.
that's what. Yeah, you can mine for gold up there if you want
Do you
to.
know if they actually filmed this in Dahlonega or they just named? They
They
decided to name the.
filmed it. They filmed it in Dahlonega because the same symbol on the website is the same one. Remember when they pull up to that hill and it says "Welcome to Dahlonega"?
Mhm.
That same symbol is on their town website right now,
Okay.
today.
All
So
right.
I'm sure it's trademarked. So I'm sure they were there. And
Okay.
plus, it's Georgia. They get the tax cut,
Yeah.
whatever the breaks. So
All
yeah,
right.
but
So okay. So
oh, did you
the
catch
whole
the
time,
the
hold up, what?
read?
Hold up, wait. We get it. The whole time they're showing this full figure girl get
Right,
bullied, and so
right.
you're like, this is definitely The kill,
The
because we
killer.
haven't met this girl yet. We haven't
Hmm.
met this girl yet. And then go ahead. You can talk about what you're about to mention.
Oh, but to add on to what you were saying, she is a killer.
Okay, so now we're getting into the end. That's the
Okay,
last
okay. Well, hold
episode. Okay, so
on.
let's
Okay,
jump into it. There's nothing.
okay.
Unless
Hold
there's
up. But
anything else. Unless there's
okay. Oh
anything
no.
else you want to cover. Because
Okay. But I
that's the very last episode where we see her do what she did to that inhaler, her
her
sister's
sister,
inhaler.
her own sister, and I'm sure
Yeah.
everybody's want to do that to their sibling, but nobody has ever done it.
I don't know if everybody's want to do that, but I mean, yeah, people fought their siblings, but that was that's like emptying the EpiPen and then taking your sister out to eat some shrimp or something, or
Mm,
you know what I mean? Or some
that
peanut butter. Put some peanut butter on your sibling sandwich when you know they're allergic or something. Like
that's
that's
like pure
crazy.
evil.
Yeah,
Um.
but we find out that the big girl. Well, no, that's too far. Okay, so what do we find out first? Okay, first we find out that okay, we think the camera. Anna thinks the cameraman is the killer. She sees the
Mhm.
pictures on the wall of his cabin, which he never mentioned ever. He never mentioned his parents had a cabin in Dahlonega or near
Which
Dahlonega.
was weird.
Creepy. Yes, to
Nobody,
not
even
say that.
Anna, didn't mention that she was from Dahlonega in the beginning, which is
Yeah.
weird.
So she sees the pictures on the wall of his parents' little cabin, and she noticed somebody familiar. She sees Lexi.
Catherine.
She sees Lexi, which is fine, and then she sees Catherine, and she goes, "Huh, maybe he's killing on behalf of Catherine. Like maybe he's like like a Jason type figure, and Catherine's like Jason's mom, like in the first Friday 13th situation." And then, of course, she freaks out, locks him in that room, and he doesn't. We find out later he really does not know what's going on. Like he's like, "Why is she freaking out right now?" He literally was
Yeah,
not
she tried
connected
to
to it
shoot
at
him
all.
because
That's
she's afraid of him because she
we were
played
too.
him like a dildo.
We're all afraid of him at this point. We are all
I know I
scared
am
of this
too.
guy. So
Yeah,
it's
because
so funny that
he's like taking it out on her, like you crafted all of this for your little measly career, and he
uh,
really let her have it. Oh,
mm,
that's another read. Did you catch the read from the coroner going to Patel when she was like, "What's a friendship bracelet?" And she was like, "I'm pretty sure you didn't have many friends." That
yeah,
coroner was so funny.
yeah. But Patel was a great character. I love the way they dressed her, or she dresses herself like Sherlock Holmes. If you look at her wardrobe, she
I
wears
didn't pay that
tweed.
attention.
Yeah, she wears tweed,
Well,
like
she
a
would be
professor from England.
Watson. Wouldn't she be Watson though in real life?
Mm-mm. Watson was a doctor.
Oh,
Sherlock Holmes was the investigator. Yeah, you've been watching your show too much. They
oh,
got you all twisted. You've been
I
watching.
love Watson.
What's his name?
What?
Morris
Morris
Chestnut.
Chestnut,
You've been watching Morris Chestnut so long. You think he is you think
the
he's the
man.
investigator? Yeah. No, Watson was just a doctor. So Watson would answer all the medical like questions and stuff like that. And then Sherlock Holmes was the one that would do the investigation, that would do like the actual, putting the pieces together and everything. Who was
So the
also
end scene. I'm
so
sorry. Go ahead.
Patel, they dress her like Sherlock. So you're like, that lets you know, if you're like me, she is gonna figure this out by the end of the show. She's gonna be one of the people that figures this out. It's just a
She
matter of
was
how and
smart as
when.
a whip.
So before we even get to the cabin, let's mention the fact that Zoe gets murdered upstairs in
Oh
her
yeah,
bath, and then Jack has to find
yeah.
her, and that's brutal. That's just
That
brutal.
was so
Brutal.
sad. But I was thinking at that point, they didn't make Zoe that much of a redeemable character. I mean, she didn't want to take her beautiful little girl. She was the sweetest little girl to
Yeah.
soccer practice. To I gotta go out with so and so, don't you know? And she was
Yeah.
mean to Anna, knowing that Anna had lost her child and was
Uh-huh.
going through something. You could tell she never liked Anna, even before you realized that they had been childhood acquaintances.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, but you did feel bad. They gave her a moment where she goes to Jack to his office, and she goes, "I was in that friend group," and then you really let it sinks in for you, like, oh yeah, she was a part of that group, even though they've been kind of downplaying it. She was in that friend group, and she's
because
like,
she
I'm
wasn't a
gonna be
main
next.
character of the group. It was Rachel, the ringleader. Then
But
Anna was very
but hold up.
attractive.
But hold up. She goes to Jack and she's like, I'm gonna be next. And he's like, oh, you're not gonna be next. He's like, oh, don't worry about it. Oh, everything's gonna be fine. So that part is what makes you feel bad for Zoe, is that she actually saw it coming. She told a member of law enforcement, her own brother, I think
Who
I'm
was
next.
nonchalant,
And he was like, it'll be fine. And then she gets killed like the next day. That was brutal.
which would
That was
make you
brutal.
think that Jack still was the killer because it's
Yeah,
like your
they're all
sister,
tied to
people
him.
around you
They're
are
all tied to
dying.
him. Yeah, they're all
Uh-huh.
tied to him. Yeah.
And he's like, and remember, she confronted him about faking the DNA test. She confronted him about,
Oh, that was great. That was great.
you know,
Yeah, that was
boning
great.
Rachel and how she figured that out.
The fact
And
that she didn't turn him in after learning all that is wow. What a sister. You
I
know
mean,
what
but
I
she
mean?
gangster. She
Yeah.
gangster though. Remember,
Because of
because
the music? Because of the
yeah,
gangster music?
and the tattoos and the I got a party before I take care of my child. I mean, it's streets before home life. It's like he was the father the entire time, even before she died. It's like
He's a
the child was learning to live without the mom, with the mom standing right there.
he was more responsible, but again, to her credit, that was her house. He was living at her house because he had been, well,
Mhm.
not officially divorced, but you know he had been
Separated,
split,
which is
separated.
why nobody should get involved. And I know they heard learn this the hard way. I don't care if they've been separated for 5 years. You can never
Mm.
date a person that's separated because they may always unite again
Yeah.
in the end.
Hey, it's a lot of paperwork to make that separation
Mhm.
official. But okay,
Mhm.
so we're at the cabin. We think we know who the killer is. We think it's the brother of Catherine, that he's getting revenge because we think Catherine is the one on the tape who gets assaulted. That's what we know
Mhm.
from what they've shown us. So we're like, oh, we got
Mhm.
motive. His sister got assaulted, and now he's killing all the girls who were there, right? And you're like, okay, that makes
Mhm.
sense. And then
But
the
but
fight
Anna
goes
gets
on.
assaulted too, though. Remember,
Hold
Anna
up, hold
is
up,
the
hold
one.
up, hold
Okay.
up. We're
Mhm.
fighting. I'm getting there. Remember, that's the very,
Okay.
very end. We're fighting. Da da da. We fought, and then it's revealed that Lexi is Catherine. Catherine lost a bunch of weight, dyed her
And
hair
dye her
blonde,
hair blonde. Mhm.
and then,
And
of
shapeshifted.
course, yeah. And so you're like, okay, Anna is now fighting the girl who got assaulted. So should we be rooting for Anna at this point? You're like, maybe this is Anna's time, right? Because
Mhm.
she's one of the girls who let it happen,
Mhm.
who watched it happen. And then that's when Patel, Jack shows up. He does his hero thing. And then Patel shows up, and she's a real hero because she ends the fight with that one shot, and she gets her, Sherlock Holmes moment. And then when they're sitting outside, you find out, oh no, Catherine was not a victim. She was saved by Anna, and then they sat there and watched Anna get sexually assaulted on her birthday by strangers.
16th birthday. Mhm.
Mm-mm-mm. And so you're like, dang. So then you're like, well, what was the motive? Who was the killer and what was the motive? Did Anna kill all these people? You're like, well, who did it now? You really don't know now because you're like, well, it could have been Catherine. What was her motive? Could have been the brother. What was his motive? There's no motive anymore because now we know
And
who
what
the
about
real
the
victim is.
husband? Remember Lexi's husband,
That's what
the
I'm talking about.
cameraman. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes he has no motive. There's no motive for
Mm-mm.
him to kill.
I
So
mean,
now
Anna,
you're
he
like,
could kill Anna for toying with his emotions. Plus, there was resentment from him. Remember when they were? I'm gonna take you back to when they were in the
Well, no, Anna,
diner
but not
having
not the other
dinner.
girls though. Not
I
Zoe.
don't
Like
know,
like the, so what's the
but do
motive
you
for killing the
remember?
other girls? Mhm.
Mm, I would have thought on Lexi's behalf.
The killing Zoe though, because we, like I said, we know that Catherine, Lexi, she was not the victim on the tape when we get
Mm-hmm.
outside. So now we are back to square one because we're like, okay, maybe Anna is the killer this whole time. And she did kill all these girls. And maybe she went to that cabin to wait for Catherine, to kill
And she
Catherine.
had the gun on deck,
Yeah, so we thought maybe it was her. And then, of course, we get the final reveal, which is what?
which was shocking. And this is
Yes.
why
What's the
I
reveal, though?
don't be
For the
buying.
audience. For the audience.
I well, the
What's the reveal?
reveal was the mother that
Whose
had
mom?
dementia,
Yes.
Anna's mom that she abandoned after she lost her child due to her
Mhm,
leaving her in the care of her mother.
mhm,
Anna's mother felt that to redeem having lost the child dying while she was in her care, that the
mhm.
best redemption method was revenge for all Anna's enemies.
But
The girls,
how did she find out about the incident? You
the
remember that?
tapes that Anna
Yeah.
had in her closet to
Mhm,
feel close when Anna disappeared after the loss of her child for a year to go build a career in Atlanta, was
mhm,
successful by the way. Her mom, to feel close to her, would watch her on TV, and when it
mhm,
wasn't enough, she would pull out these tapes from Anna's childhood. And
mhm,
she watched them all and watched them laugh, and she got to this tape where she saw her daughter being sexually assaulted, and
mhm,
she watched the other girls laugh and think it was funny. Rachel,
mhm,
the initial victim, and Helen,
mhm.
the Asian Hogwarts uh, uh,
Yeah,
principal,
headmaster. Yeah, yeah.
headmaster, and Zoe, who
Mhm,
never liked her daughter anyway, stood between her great love between the mother's pick,
mhm,
Jack. Um, So the mother went out and well first she went out to murder, but when Jack found murdered Rachel because she discovered that Rachel was sleeping with Jack and she
mhm,
wanted Jack and Anna to get back together. So she went out and murdered Rachel in a skillful way. And it's some
mhm,
things, some quotes that she said that I thought were so great. And one of
mhm.
the greatest quotes that she said is that people mistake dementia for determination because they never pay the elderly any attention. So when Jack found her out muddy after she had murdered Rachel, he
Mhm,
thought she was wandering and
mhm,
had dementia and just was out in the rain with no shoes on. But her feet,
mhm.
her footprints, they had a patch of bare footprints at the crime scene.
They assumed it was
But
Rachel.
they assumed it was Rachel's, and they did not pay it any attention, and they could not put two and two together that this lady with dementia is always probably nearby every murdered person. Plus, she was of the lower class and had a good reputation for working
Yes.
her way into her daughter getting into that private school. She cleaned those bathrooms
Yes.
at that same private school and
Mhm,
had asked Rachel them to be nice to her daughter and because she had done work for their families and to be nice. So she had keys to everybody's place, including Hogwarts.
yep, yep.
So that's how she was able to go in and murder every last one of them. And she said sometimes a mother's love runs so deep, and that a mother should teach their child about the ugliness of life and also the beauty of life. Because by this time, I don't know if you want to go
Well, yeah,
ahead.
we're already at the end.
Um,
You're
oh,
you're
okay, if you
quoting
want
the
to go ahead
last
and talk
you're
about
quoting the last monologue.
Yeah, I mean, I found that to be so true. You can't just teach your child that, it's going to be lollipops and gummy bears and rainbows and fairies everywhere.
Well, she
That
know her
there are
daughter didn't
also,
need that. I mean, she started this journey because her
but
daughter
did
got
she know that?
assaulted.
Because I don't think she knew that Rachel then was so evil because she asked them, take care of my daughter. She knew their
No, she didn't know at the
family.
time, but she
Mhm.
realized that her I think that's what parents find out too, that your kids do know about the ugly side and that they're kind of hiding their knowledge of the ugly side from you. That's what she found out about her daughter as well. I think every parent has that
Mhm.
realization. Oh, my kid is getting bullied. Oh, my kid, went through this, and you don't know until
And
some
then
adult.
tell me.
Yeah, yeah. So I think she did. She thought this whole time her daughter was just this perfect, girl
Didn't
that went
have
to
any
school,
problem.
problems.
Because
Yeah,
she
and then she.
worked hard for her daughter to
Mhm,
go to that school. She had to scrub the toilets in that very school
yeah,
for her daughter to go there for them girls to mistreat her. So, I mean, and
yeah,
then remember in the very end, as she left a letter for her daughter. First of all, she played the dementia. See, this is why I don't mess with seniors because they play like they have dementia. Now, who can say they don't? If they get in the office and play around, just so they can be buttholes legally,
I don't know.
they do.
She got me with the leaving the eggshells in the scrambled eggs. I would have been like, "Mom, we got to call somebody."
But just in case, if they ever find out that she did it, you got record that she couldn't be faking it. She put the eggshells in the eggs. I watched
Yeah,
somebody do
yeah,
that for the past 7 months. So that's why I say I ain't playing that game with them no more. It's certain ways you can tell if they have dementia. If they remember what you did yesterday, or they can recall your every conversation verbatim, then they pretty much don't have it. Because you can't even say what you said verbatim. But they can remember. I knew somebody like that. She was 90. They said she had dementia, but she can go and speak in Mandarin and tell my entire conversation 12 hours later.
yeah.
Everything
So
you said.
yeah,
And
and
that's how this mother was. She was crazy like a fox. There was nothing wrong with her brain. She even let Anna pay for a caregiver. Because even when Anna went back to Atlanta, regained her seat on her throne as the
mhm,
head news anchor in Atlanta,
yeah,
pregnant with her second child,
yeah.
and the
Got another
mother had a
child.
caregiver.
Got another
Yeah,
child
got
been
gained
born.
another child.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Zoe left behind,
Jack is
which
back in the
Jack was
picture.
already the parent. Yeah, he was already
Yeah.
parent. Jack and her end up back together, pregnant again. They're gonna redo it, and the mother end up with a caregiver. They
Mhm.
gotta pay the caregiver. The mama can go out and murder and plan for murders, but
Yeah.
she left Anna a note, and Anna was reading the note at the end, which was crazy
Mhm.
because you could see her face going through all the emotions, the crying,
That
like,
was
oh
good
my
acting.
God, did my mom? Yes.
It's
Because
good
I'm
acting.
looking at her like, is she going to have her mom arrested or what is she going to do? This is a public figure. Anna is a superstar in Atlanta.
That's
So, I
true.
mean, it's just like Monica Kaufman, and she found out her mama was a serial killer for whatever reason. Would
Yeah.
she turn her in? But no, you see in the end that Anna gives her a little
Smile.
smile.
Yep.
She's like, thanks, mom. You made my
Yeah.
life a whole lot easier because she made it possible. And she even said, every time I murdered, you benefited. She was like, when I murdered Rachel, that brought you back home.
Yep.
Even though she was back home the same night that Rachel got murdered to go
That's
visit her
true.
child's grave and
Yeah.
caught her husband boning Rachel and didn't never said anything. She just
Mhm.
toyed with Jack.
Yeah.
Remember in the first press conference, is it true that
Yeah,
you
that
know
was
her?
great. Yeah, that was great.
That was good. That's that Mr. and Mrs. Smith stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, the mom being so beautiful though, the mom was equally as beautiful. But she looked at her because she knew she had read the letter, and her and the mama smiled at each other. I was like, this the cat. Why can't my mama be toxic in my favor like this? You
I
have a
know. That was
toxic
hilarious.
mother. Everybody wants that toxic mama. Like, go avenge my enemies from high school, middle school, grade school.
Yeah,
Line
for
them up.
real. For real. Yeah, that'd be
But so
hilarious.
let me ask you, what was your favorite scene in the series?
Um, ooh, that's a good question. Um, favorite scene, man. I would say any scene with Jack was hilarious because it was like I was like, okay, what federal law is he gonna break next to get out of this? And it just got worse and worse and worse.
And worse.
Yeah, and
It
I was
was
like,
like
oh
they was
Lord.
like, "What's up with the DNA, man?" And then they come
Yeah.
back like that DNA don't even belong to a man. I mean,
I mean, he
Jack,
because he was doing stuff
not
he was
even
gonna
a
get caught with.
pubescent girl.
Exactly.
Mm.
He was doing stuff that you knew he was gonna get caught later, like the DNA was
Even
corrupted.
the phone.
The
Even if he
phone,
deleted his messages off the phone,
they
don't
can
he
still
know they can
pull.
go and get records?
He tried to cancel the record search, the warrant for the records, and then Patel called and said, when are those phone records coming through? And they were like, oh, somebody canceled it, and she was like, reinstate it. So everything he did was gonna get reversed. So I was like, it's only a matter of time before you get caught. So it was humorous. Seeing him about to go to jail for murder was humorous to me for some reason. But
I
yeah,
mean, because it's like Anna wanted that in the beginning almost. It's like she didn't facilitate it, but she would kind of
yeah,
yeah, don't you know her, Jack? Like,
yeah,
like
yeah,
every chance she got, she messed with him. But I think deep down, she didn't think he was a killer. Um,
yeah.
Never. I don't think that his wife thought he was the killer. And that's why
Or
she
she
thought it
didn't
would be
care.
good.
Or she didn't
And
care.
think
Yeah.
about it. When we go back, think about it. Remember all her intuitive hits when her with her boss in the beginning? Yeah, it's a murder and it's a white lady. And he's like, first of
Mhm.
all, okay, a murder. And she was like, and how you know she white? He was like, well, it's the lawn. She was like, it's the Lonaga. Well,
Yeah.
how you know it was a murder? Well, we saw she got that off social media.
Yeah.
But the way she knew by seeing her husband with Rachel the night of the murder,
Mhm.
she knew that it would be big. It was going to be a mystery because she didn't think her husband was a murderer. So
Mhm.
she knew they would have more than one suspect, which would make that too delicious to pass
Mhm.
up on for a small town of 7,000 people.
Mhm. Yeah. That would be a big story. If that really happened in Dahlonega, that'd be a big true crime situation.
Let's see. Let's see how many murders they have a year. But so my favorite scene I think was one of my favorite shots of the episode in the episode 3 when Lexi is thinking about going to Dahlonega. It's this scene that I think urges her to make that trip when Anna's miking up for a
Oh yeah, that
scene
was
before the
hilarious.
town
Yeah,
hall.
yeah, that was
And she
hilarious.
gave her that smile with her
Yeah.
husband putting the
Yeah,
mic
yeah.
on her.
I knew
And it's
when
like
I
she
saw
knew
that,
she would be watching.
that's the scene that I saw where I was like, "Oh, that's why my mom likes this show." That's how I realized why you like this show when I saw that little shot, that scene. I was like, "Oh, this is my mom would love this little, five. It was like only like 2 minutes long, 2 minute long scene of
If that.
her looking at
hmm
the husband and smiling, and Lexi feeling insecure as she should because her husband is actually hooking up with her. And yeah, I knew you would love that scene.
I love that scene. That was like one of my favorites. And I think just when Jack leave the coroner office, I mean, not in the beginning. In the beginning, I just was like, ODB? Like I was shocked that, that he was on the soundtrack,
Yeah.
but that a white guy playing it in the truck, a detective at that in Dahlonega, a town that they have eight violent crimes. They had eight violent crimes. Um, Chances of becoming a victim of a violent crime in Dahlonega is 1 in 948 chances. And
So
in Georgia is 1 in 284 chances.
yeah, 1 in 1,000 is pretty good. That's a pretty
Hmm
good chance you'll be safe. you know,
hmm Well, imagine a serial killer ripping through Dahlonega now that we know this.
it'd be impossible. It'd be impossible because it's so small. It's such a small town.
hmm
Like they probably only have like one access road. Like remember Stockbridge? You had to go through
hmm
138. You really had no choice
hmm
unless you were going on foot. So they
hmm
probably have something like that, where it's one big highway they can just shut down and then trap everybody in.
Mm-mm-mm. Which I could have got out of Stockbridge with, because you got ways to go to Rex. It's
Yeah,
ways to get out of there.
Rex. Maybe we should be putting this publicly, but yeah, Rex. There is an escape route through Rex, but
hmm
yeah,
Or you can escape backwards to McDonald. Now go south of Stockbridge. It's
but you still
ways
have to
that you can even escape to Lithonia from Stockbridge. They connected
without
from the east.
going through 138.
130. No, no, not no. You got to go through 138.
Yeah, see, how do you
Yeah,
get
you
out of
got to go to
Stockbridge?
138. But 138 jumped so many times that they would have to literally put cops on every corner because 138 go all the way to Riverdale. Then
No, they
138
remember they block it off where the Walmart is.
and box people in.
Yeah, they did this all the time. We lived there. You remember this? They would block it off.
Mm-mm.
They block it off where the highway was. They block it
hmm
off where the Walmart is, and
hmm
then you're trapped in Stockbridge unless you go all the way, like you said, all the way south through the park. That the Panola
hmm
State Park. You're pretty much
hmm
trapped in Stockbridge at that point. So yeah, they
And
have
then you might
ways.
not make it out alive and get a Lithonia. You go through that way, going to Lithonia.
Yeah, but yeah, you could escape on foot through the park for sure. But yeah, they would block off the main entrances all the time if we had to
I
kill them.
remember they used to do that where we lived. I hated that. I'm going to work and they stop
Yeah,
us at the
that's so
subdivision.
annoying. That's so
That was
annoying.
annoying. I hated that.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, but anyways, that's for another Netflix show.
I
But yeah,
know.
this is a good one. It had
Okay,
two.
so on a scale from 1 to 10, out of all the series, you're a movie TV buff.
Oh,
What
okay.
would you give his and hers?
I give it a 9 because I really enjoyed it. It reminded me of Revenge, the
hmm
series Revenge a lot. I feel like if I looked up the who was behind the show, I would find somebody who worked on Revenge who worked on this show, and she
Probably.
very much played the character like Emily Thorne. It was very
hmm
much I'm coming back to my hometown. I've been gone a long time. And then, you're like, is she a villain? Is she a good guy? And then you find out that she's more of a good
She's a
person.
grieving mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It was based off of a book by Alice Feeney called
okay.
His and Hers. And they said that
Right.
it was a little different than the book, but I never read the book, so I can't speak on that. But
Yeah.
I would give it a 10. I would give it a 10 because it was funny. They had to work to take such a serious, gruesome
Mhm.
murder. I mean, she got stabbed with a butter knife 40 times.
Mhm.
Like a butter
Yeah.
knife, who does that? Did you see the body, the coroner's
Mhm.
office?
Yeah.
But to make that funny, to have so many funny parts
Yeah.
in it, I
Yeah.
give it a 10. And then I watched it probably about 7 times already. So I'm probably the reason why
Wow.
it's number one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's way up there. The only reason I gave it a 9 instead of a 10 is because
You watch more than I do. I rewatch shows. That's all
no,
I
it's
do.
it's not because of that.
You
It's a
watch a
great
lot of
show.
stuff.
The only
Mhm.
reason I took a point off is because the Lexi and Catherine connection was too far of a leap for me. I'm like, somebody would know that Catherine lost weight
Was that right?
and moved to Atlanta. Like that wouldn't be a
Right.
complete total mystery that absolutely no one in town would have
What were
no
her
idea.
parents?
Her brother's a cameraman at the station. Like what, he didn't tell
But that
anybody
wasn't
either.
her husband.
I mean, I'm sorry, her husband. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, her
Oh,
husband. Oh yeah, that was her husband. My bad. Sorry. I don't know why I kept saying brother.
I was
Her
gonna say
husband,
what? That's a real plot twist.
sees the old photos. They still have the cabin in Dahlonega, and like
And he still
nobody
didn't put it
ever,
together.
nobody. Well,
That's how
I'm
you.
sure he knew. I'm sure he knew that she used to be big, but nobody else put it two and two together. Nobody was like, "Where's Catherine? Where'd she go? Where'd she move to?" You know, like the fact that nobody figured it out, I think, is
But
a little
nobody
bit of a
like.
stretch. Just a little bit of a
Yeah.
stretch. That's why I give it a
But
9.
she remember she was overweight and nobody liked her to begin with. They only took her into their group.
But then she became part of the group. When she watched that
Yeah.
assault take place, she became part of the group. Then she lost weight. Now she's really part of the group. So
Mhm.
they don't mention that either. When did she lose weight? Did she lose weight in high school? Did she lose it in college? So that's the only weak point of the storyline. I feel like that was like a
Mm. Somebody asked why did she only wear one color?
hello.
Did you notice? Hello? Are we freezing?
Yeah. Okay,
I
we're
think we're
back.
freezing. Okay.
Yeah. So that's it.
Um.
But other than that, everything else was great. It was believable. It was a great red
Yeah,
herring.
and in here they said in L that they said that Anna only wore one color. I didn't
Green.
notice that. Uh-huh, like a greenish
Yeah.
blue, like a peacock blue almost. Like
Yeah,
this color.
they were trying
And
to
I wore the same color.
well, they were trying to trick us because I was noticing the colors too. Green
Mm.
represents in Shakespeare like poison or evil.
Oh.
So they were trying to get us to
Oh.
think that Anna was the killer. Remember, they were trying to get us to think everybody was the killer except the actual killer, right? That was the whole goal of
Hmm.
the show. We thought that
They did a
everybody
good
was a
job.
killer. Yeah. We're
Hmm.
like Jack, Anna, the husband. Well, I kept calling him the brother for some reason. Uh,
Helen, we knew Helen was involved some type of way with the phone. Because remember,
yeah,
she talked to the husband, and everybody cussed, didn't like Helen. Helen was the
yeah,
most disliked person in the
yeah,
entire series. The
yeah.
husband was like, "Yeah, I hate to have to talk to you, but I just want to let you know."
Yeah.
Then Anna and her, and then Jack
Mhm.
didn't like. Nobody liked Helen. Helen
Yeah.
was a
Yeah.
friend of me.
Yeah.
Um,
Exactly. So yeah, that was brutal.
so we might get a second season because I
What?
mean, who would they beat
Who?
out
How?
everybody? Number one, they
What
have
would
no
it?
choice. They got to
How
come up
though?
with another. Because remember, we got to see the family. We got to see Anna has to give birth to the second child,
No,
and
we're
it's
not.
probably going to be a boy.
No. I get what you're saying, but that's not a show.
Yeah,
Seeing them raise a family
no,
is not a show.
But they're gonna have to. They're gonna have
It's
to
gonna have to be a
find out
murder.
something else. Yes,
Who would be the murder for season 2?
the
Just no,
husband for one, the one who
just
liked
let
the
them
gimp
have
ball in his mouth.
just let them have a happy ending. Just let them live happily ever after, mom. It's okay. I know you want
Mm,
more. I know you want more, but
I
just
want
let them
more.
live happily ever after. They got 2 kids now. They can't be playing around with murderers anymore. They got 2 kids and a
But
grandma
how
with
ironic
dementia.
did I wear the same color that Anna likes?
Like I said, they picked that color to make you think she was the villain. Like that, they made her look like a villain. Remember, she looked slick. Her hair was pulled back, slick. They wanted
Like
you to
a what do they
snake.
call them? A
She looked like a
vixen?
snake.
Like
No,
a
she looked like
Jezebel.
no, she looked like a snake. She looked like a viper, like a very like smooth, slick.
Mm,
Yeah, she looked
that's a
just
good
like a
description.
snake. And they
I
because they
like
wanted
that.
you to think that she did it, and then now we know she was the good guy. She should have been wearing white, you know.
I know. Poor
But
Anna.
but they
She
got
been
us with
going
that
through stuff her
wardrobe.
entire life. Her mother did clear the her mother did what they say, find the snakes in the weeds and cut
And
the weeds down and cut the
that
heads off the snake.
that was also why I gave it a 9 too, because I remember thinking why are these girls so evil? Like they let this happen to her. Well, first of all,
Welcome to high school.
they receive money from the guys to do this
Mhm.
to her. That's evil number
Mhm.
one. Then they
That
let it
I knew
happen
girls
on
like
tape.
that.
That's evil number
And
two. Then
then
number three, when she grew up, they still tried to make sure
torture her.
she never got to keep her job. Like when you find out
Mhm.
Lexi is Catherine, so that means the
Mhm.
same girl was like, "I'm gonna take your
Torturing
job
her.
too." So you're like, why are these
That's
girls so evil? That is
in
like that's
spiritual
crazy.
in the spiritual realm we call that ancestral enemies. Like they say in spirituality that sometimes the enemies of your bloodline will incarnate in each lifetime of yours to be your antagonist,
Mhm.
and really they're designed to help you. Really, they're sent in to be so dark and portray you so hard that you will facilitate healing that part of your bloodline. So when somebody is so gung ho and you have no earthly reason why they will want to sabotage you that bad, is usually a past life enemy that is used to help break you get a chance to break the chain. So when you beat that, like when she's gonna beat it, because not only is that wound healed, I guess through the blood of revenge from
Yeah, I was about to
facilitated by
say,
her mother.
she ain't got to worry about
That's not the
them
right
no more,
way.
mom.
Yeah, that's not the right way, but she can heal now. Like they kept triggering her, keeping the wounds open and fresh. And then she was
Yeah.
trying to build a life there. And she realized she had to build her life outside of Atlanta. And then her mother wanted her to safely be in Dahlonega in her home that her mother fought so hard to secure for them. Um, that the only way she would heal, like you said, is if the evil had been erased. But she could have done something else. Eventually, she could have sued them or got a restraining order or even moved to a house so far up the hill she wouldn't even have to see them. But
She tried that. She moved to Atlanta. They moved to Atlanta. She got a job
yeah,
in.
so then
She got a
her
job
mama
at the
had
morning
her
show.
mama
They
had
got
to
a
take
job
them
at the
out.
morning show. Like
Yeah, I had enemies
that's what I'm
like
saying.
that.
That
I've
was the
had enemies
weakness.
like that.
That's the weakness of the show is that their level of commitment to torturing
Mm-mm.
her does not match
Yes,
what it
women.
doesn't it doesn't match what we saw for her say or do with them. You know what I mean? Like usually
Mhm.
what your high school bullies usually give up after high school.
Mhm.
They usually don't
Mm-mm.
follow you into college and into the workplace, right?
Right,
But
but
this
they
was a
will.
special case. This is a
They
crazy
will.
case.
I mean, this is
Yeah.
like extreme. Like this is level 10
This is
of
level
gang
11.
stalking. You call
Yeah.
it gang stalking, and it's a real thing in the spiritual community, and it is a lot of, and it has no earthly reason. Like I've had 7 or 8 women start an argument with me at the same time. Like I might have had a disagreement. Somebody might say, "Well, it's raining outside." Well, it's drizzling. Then
Mhm,
5 more people, girls will say, "No, it's raining." And like, who
mhm,
cares? But we care. And then you're like, okay, so 5 of y'all are gonna jump me because it's drizzling outside.
mhm,
Like, is this why y'all about to do this? No, it's like all for the universe is designed to like toughen you up. You don't have to fight them all, but for you to hold your own against 5 people. You know what
mhm.
I'm saying? To make it out safely, to
Yeah.
where you get to live to fight another day and you didn't have to grovel or you didn't have to engage, because when you don't engage, like how Anna did not engage, and you see how the universe took over. It might have sent her mom, the demon in her mom, not her mom is a demon, but the demon inside of her mom,
Her
to go
mom's
out.
got something in there. Her mom got
Oh
something in
man,
there.
I love her mama. If I could have had, if my mama, a toxic mama that works against your enemies and not you, that's unheard of.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
let's get some of them mamas on earth. We need more of them. And
Yeah.
maybe girls wouldn't be so like so much like frenemies growing up.
Yeah. Well, as much as my mom would like a season two, there's no
Mhm.
other place for the story to go. She has no other. Her enemies are all gone. Her enemies have all been killed. She has no
Yeah.
more enemies. Jack can eat all the bananas he wants in peace now and not stressed out. Patel is going to get promoted because she was already smart to begin with.
Mm,
The mom, I
mm-hmm.
guess she's going to pretend she still has dementia. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what
For the rest of her
she. I guess
life.
she has to. She has to for
And
her
her daughter got
alibi.
a, but I
Yeah,
wonder
for
is
her
Anna
alibi.
still gonna pay for the in-home health care? Because that could be like 10,000 a month.
10,000 a month. I don't think they're
Mm-hmm.
paying that in Dahlonega, Mom. I think you looking at Atlanta prices.
Oh,
Yeah, you looking at Atlanta prices. I don't think they paying that in the rest of these towns. Um,
well,
they're
maybe
probably
she
paying
coming in a couple of hours a day.
they're paying an
Yeah, because I saw
LPN.
her cooking dinner.
They're paying an LPN $25 an hour for 8 hours, 2 days a week, probably at the most.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, and also the mom doesn't need it. By the way, she's faking. So so
Right.
the mom doesn't
For
actually need
look,
the home health aid.
audience, look at your grandmother and your mothers, and when they claim
No,
they got
no, don't listen to
dementia,
my
you
mom.
can check. You
We,
can
we don't need
check
any
them. It's
lawsuits.
ways to check
None of
it.
that. We
It's
don't need any
ways to check it.
lawsuits. If you think your
No,
parents
oh
need
no,
help, get them help. Don't listen to. We're not
no, no. Get them
professionals.
help, but it's ways to check. You know,
Don't
just
listen
double
to me.
check.
If you are smart, listen to me. Do not give a self-made dementia test to your parents. Everybody would think that you're an a-hole if you do that. But yeah, I think yeah, that's it. Let them be happily ever
When
after.
Jack finds out, you know Jack has to find out. When he finds out, he gonna give her a self-made dementia test. I think that's how he gonna find out. If I had to try to predict what would happen in a season two would be where Jack is fumbling around and discovers that his mother-in-law is a serial killer.
But then that's a sad ending because well, he's got to put her in jail. Then I mean, like, so yeah, just it's
Mm-mm.
done. Their life is happy. It ends. Anything else is just going to be bad. Like anything, any other development is just going to be more danger or more evil or something else entering their happy home life, and so nobody wants that. We wanted them all to have a happy ending because they all had rough lives. Jack, the mom,
Well,
and
if he had to grow up with
obviously
Zoe.
Anna, his niece, her mother was murdered in upstairs while she was in her room. I mean, like that's going to be something to deal with in her life. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? So I think
Yeah.
everybody's suffered enough. Um, I mean, Patel, even she got punched in the face for doing the right, or she thought she was doing the right thing, catching Jack.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, everybody got their licks in. I think they're fine. I think they're living happy ever after. I think it's time for, uh, you know, and also, Mom, if you like this movie, there's another movie called A Simple Favor that you would love. Very much in the same
Okay.
vein. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll let you know where to find it after we quit. But yeah, that's pretty much it, folks. We
Yeah,
covered
I
the end.
enjoyed it. It was great. If you haven't
Yeah.
watched it, please go check it out. I mean, this
Yes.
is our long review, but you still want to see it and a couple times.
Yep. All right, folks. See you in the next review. Bye bye.